Hey, what's going on? Got a new cat. His name's Spriggy, after Sprigatito. While we can thank Arceus it's not 2020 with a global pandemic going on, the state of the world right now still kinda sucks. So I think it's awesome that we've been blessed with another cozy rific game in the same vein as Animal Crossing New Horizons, which was a huge source of comfort and gentle gaming goodness to a ton of people during COVID. As of now, that game has sold more than 48 million copies, making it one of the best-selling Switch games ever. Personally, I absolutely love the Animal Crossing series, and remember playing the original on the GameCube back in my awkward middle school days. Let's be honest, those days never really ended for me. Also, we did get the New Horizons Switch 2 upgrade back in January, and it's only $5, which in my opinion is a steal to take full advantage of the Switch 2's upgraded graphics and features. But anyway, there's just something about cute little creatures and collecting and organizing things that just scratches that lifelong itch that I've always had in my malformed dopamine receptors. I should probably get that checked out. And speaking of cute creatures and collecting things, in comes Pokemon, my favorite video game series of all time. Scratch that, Pokemon is my life. I used to try to deny that, but at this point, I'm letting it all hang out. And with Pokopia, we've got a perfect hybrid of Animal Crossing and Minecraft, another game that I've always loved by the way, but with a Pokemon theme. Honestly, how does it get any better than that? This is the kind of game that nerds like me the world over were desperate for, but didn't even know that we needed. And let's be honest, with its slow pace, relaxing gameplay, it's a super fun yet chill way to pass the time while the world around us burns. I mean seriously, we've got political violence, economic uncertainty, geopolitical conflict, and Fire Red and Leaf Green finally available on the Switch but costing $20 a pop. The only thing we're missing at this point is nuclear winter. But seriously, our culture is entirely too fast-paced, too loud, too unkind, and full of immense pressure to achieve, perform, and conform to societal and social norms for the sake of making money and climbing the ladder, which apparently is the only thing we're supposed to be interested in. And honestly, most people are. Hey, who made up these freaking rules anyway? But for the rest of us weirdos, we've got Pokemon. Or whatever other very specific, very intense interests that you may happen to have. And for us, these are things that bring us joy. They bring us contentment. They bring us a sense of belonging, a sense of community. For the past several months, I've really enjoyed getting out and playing Pokemon Go with some other players in my local area. And honestly, it's been a blast and something that I really needed lately. What's cool is that if it wasn't for Pokemon, there wouldn't be any other common thread that would have otherwise brought us together. But yet, here's this incredibly diverse group of folks of all different ages, beliefs, and everything else, all getting together to pursue what really matters in life.
Microtransactions.
I'm kidding, I meant to say fun. Because honestly, if you're not having fun, what's the freaking point of life? That was a serious question. I'll wait. For me, that's what a game like Pokopia represents. Fun. No pressure, no competition, no sense of urgency, no overstimulation or information overload. Just low-key, laid-back enjoyment set in a particularly cozy version of the Pokemon world. Now, I've only put a handful of hours into Pokopia so far, but my wife and I are really enjoying just going at our own pace, finding new Pokemon, collecting resources, and just exploring the world. To get new Pokemon to appear, you have to build certain habitats that suit them using moves that ditto copies from other town residents. Beginning with our boys Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle. As the game progresses, you gain access to more moves to help you more easily navigate the terrain around you or even reshape it. Some of the moves even help you plant flowers and vegetables to grow as decorations or food. I still haven't unlocked all the moves yet, and I'm purposefully avoiding spoilers the best I can, because again, this game is meant to be taken slow. The building aspect is really cool as well, with the landscapes around you made up of blocks similar to Minecraft, but with tons of non-block items available for crafting and decorating to your heart's content. I also greatly appreciate all the references to past core games, especially the music, which features really relaxing, really awesome remixes of classic tracks from Red and Blue. There's also a ton of really cool hidden treasures to find. These usually reference previous games, like gym badges and even held items used for battles in the core series. Also interesting is the journal entry-like scraps of information you find occasionally that seemingly are building the backstory for why you ended up in such a desolate and post-apocalyptic location in the first place. Which in and of itself makes for a really cool premise. Rather than just dropping you into a blank slate island like Animal Crossing, Pokopia starts like an episode of The Twilight Zone. With no trees, no plants, no people, just Pokemon. No people and just Pokemon. Hey, that sounds like my kind of place, actually. Anyway, this video was really just to give my first impression of the game in case anyone was on the fence about making the purchase. So far, by all indications, it's the best game of 2026, with the current rating on Metacritic of 89, making it the highest rated Pokemon game ever. Which is weird considering that it's just a spin-off. But who am I to say, just a spin-off? Pokopia for many might just be a novelty that will lose its luster with time, especially leading up to Winds and Waves next year. But for others, it might just be the game that introduces them to Pokemon for the very first time, serving as a gateway into the franchise we all love that they might not have otherwise gotten into. For instance, I find it amazing how many local Pokemon Go players have never played a core series game. And I say amazing as in amazingly sad, but also amazingly cool. Don't get me wrong, I'm an old school, dyed-in-the-wool OG Pokemon fan. The amount of hours that I put into Crystal version alone would probably strike your average casual as something deserving of federal prison time. I even remember being put off by Pokemon Go in 2016 at launch because you didn't have to weaken a Pokemon before catching them. I mean, come on, we're catching legendaries in 2 throws with no false swipe or status effects? It's nothing sacred! And yet, I'm still hooked, and I've really enjoyed playing and hanging out with other players in my area. Because at the end of the day, Pokemon being more accessible and enjoyed by more people is something that I love to see, whether it's a spin-off game or otherwise. I can honestly tell you that this franchise has gotten me through some incredibly difficult times. Even when life was dark, brutal, hopeless, at least I still had Pokemon. Sometimes all it took was listening to Gold and Silver's original soundtrack to bring me back to a place of peace. Maybe that sounds dramatic, but honestly it's the truth. For a lot of us, Pokemon is a genuine source of community, consistency, and joy in an otherwise fragmented, unpredictable, and unforgiving world. Right now, that's what Pokopia is doing for a lot of people. It's a reminder that in the midst of desolation, that sounds like a pretty sweet metalcore band. That in the midst of desolation, joy can still be found in the everyday. And I just think that's really cool. I appreciate you guys checking out this video, and if you enjoyed it, do me a favor, give it a like, subscribe to the channel. Have you played Pokopia yet? Would you like to see more Pokopia content? Let me know in a comment below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.